Hi everyone, I'm Sloane Burke from the Department of Health Sciences. I have been teaching online for 15 years, and in that time I've learned some unique strategies and creative solutions that address academic integrity in the online environment. When we think of academic integrity, it kind of has a negative overtone, but it really affords us the opportunity to improve the rigor and the quality of our teaching. The first thing you want to do is include academic integrity in your syllabus. In your syllabus, explain what plagiarism is, what it means to provide false or borrowed information, and clearly explain what CSUN's cheating policy is. It is helpful to place in your syllabus a link to CSUN's policy, which is stated in the catalog. You might be concerned about giving a quiz or a test online. There are actually features and options in Moodle that address this very issue. When planning online assessments like quizzes and exams, we might want to start to think a little differently about what we want our students to do. Yes, we want them to study and prepare so they learn the materials, but it may be unrealistic to expect them to take closed book exams. In fact, you might encourage them to create study notes that they can use. There are many quick and effective things you can do to dissuade students from cheating while taking quizzes online in Moodle. First, you can create a large question pool with many test questions that Moodle can randomize from for each student per quiz. This allows questions, and even responses if you choose this option, to be delivered randomly for each individual student, making the sharing of questions a real challenge. Allow students to only access the quiz once, not multiple times, by setting under the grade option in attempts allowed as 1. You want to click on the feature to display the questions one at a time. Displaying all questions at once allows the students to look up information with greater ease. Timing your quizzes is important for academic honesty. We like to use 30 seconds to 1 minute per item formula. 30 seconds covers more basic recall items very well, and 1 minute maybe for more higher order critical thinking questions. As I tell my students, with that limited amount of time, you will not have time to look up the answer as it is being delivered to you. So you must know the material and be familiar with the material ahead of time to be successful in your quiz. Under Review Options in Moodle, in the Edit Quiz area, you will have a variation to choose from. So choose options that minimize immediate feedback to ensure the correct and incorrect answers are not shared with others. I set my quizzes to receive marks, which is just the correct or incorrect number of items, immediately after the quiz attempt, later while it's still open, and after the quiz is closed. I never provide the answers on my quizzes, as they could be shared with current or future students. I ask students to email me individually and privately for more information on what they missed. There are even more ways to add elements that may prevent a student from cheating on a quiz. For example, a great strategy is to include an acknowledgement statement in quizzes. Here's a sample from one of my courses. You want to refresh and revitalize your content regularly. Information that is not updated is more at risk for being shared by others in the class, and this is true in the online environment or even the in-class environment. And avoid high-stakes tests, and by that we mean, say, for example, if you have one exam worth 90% of a student's grade, in the online or even hybrid environment, this can cause a lot more anxiety and apprehension from the student's perspective. So you want to deliver points evenly over time with frequent assessments and opportunities for data points. We're all concerned about plagiarism and academic integrity. Turnitin is a great tool to utilize for checking your students' work. Turnitin is a plagiarism software embedded in Moodle. Turnitin creates a database of previous submissions and also is able to scan the student's work against academic and non-academic websites and commercial resources to find plagiarism. One strategy to deal with plagiarism is to use this as a learning opportunity and ask the student to revise their work.